Yo, this B-Boy Reg
I'm DJ Butter, y'all.
and this Funky Fresh in the Flesh
The Flesh
podcast.
Podcast.
And we got a special guest today,
Yes,
Mr.
yes, the
ELove.
legendary. Yes, yes.
My brothers, how's it going? It's good.
It's
Thank you,
going great.
man.
How you been?
Respect.
Great, brother. Just been working, putting everything together for 2023, 50th anniversary of hip hop. I'm excited about the whole 2023.
All right, that
Sick,
sounds
sick,
good.
sick.
Yeah, so we wanted to bring you on and just show you, ask you some questions, let the world hear a little bit more about you because, growing up in hip hop, I think this only like my third time hearing you speak, brother.
All right.
I have a lot to say, so yeah, come on, brother. Let's get waiting
What?
for you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember when I was a little kid, I think I'm Bad was out and one of my uncle's friends who, all the older guys wasn't really into rap that much. But I remember they seen I think LL was performing and you was standing there and the older guy was like, man, that's a grown man right there. He's serious. So
Serious, yeah.
yeah, so we always looked at you as that person that was serious, that was about his business, and that was the image and our perception of you over the years.
I
So that
appreciate
was
that.
good.
That's exactly what it is, bro. Because
Yeah,
growing up in New York, especially in Queens, you had to be that guy in the block, or you was playing sports, or you was that guy in the block, or you had some skills on the mic. So we, I was there to portray that guy that was on the street corner that you wasn't really sure what he was about.
right, right. I
Yeah,
don't think nobody wanted to try you neither.
Yeah,
thank
not at all.
you.
Yeah, that's good.
Say,
Hey, look.
talk about you ever consider rapping or DJing? I know you were producing at some point, right?
My rapping skills is horrendous. I wouldn't even insult you guys with that. I'm a, you know what I'm saying? I know I can and can't do. DJ is not exactly my thing. Production is more my speed and directing. I got a couple of soundtracks coming out with music to a video game that we have coming out probably in the fourth quarter of 2023. We got two games. We should be dropping the games. One is a driving game. The other one is the boxing game. The name of the driving game is called Fearless D. D stands for Drift King. He's the guy behind the Fast and Furious franchise. I actually brought the Drift King to the 2016 Comic Con along with Stanley and Jeremy Renner.
All right, that's dope. So you talked about the production side of it. Just were you producing any of the music back in the '80s or any of the music in your account back then?
Oh yeah, I mean, I had a hand in a lot of different songs. When you're in the studio working on a song, everybody in the studio has some input on every song. That's just how it is. Everybody has chimed in. We should do it this way. You should do it that way. No drum, no drums. The hi hat instead. Everybody brought something to the table. You know.
Right. Yeah, that's dope. Hey, I
What
got.
talk about your
Go ahead.
directing? Not to cut you off, Reg.
Yeah.
Your
Go ahead.
directing. You did some stuff with was it Tupac?
I did Gangsta Party with Snoop, Tupac, Gangsta Party. Uh,
Wow.
I worked first, second camera on that with my boy Gobi. That was back in the day. Uh, Bobcat wrote most of the treatment for Bad. I'm Bad. I put the guy in the chokehold. I directed a lot of commercials for Levi, Gateway, BCBG, and I have several other videos that's going to be coming out third, fourth quarter. These are all music from the soundtrack to the video games that we have coming out fourth quarter.
Wow.
Okay, that's dope. See, we never knew that back
Wow.
back
Oh yeah,
then.
song. I got the theme song for the reality show called "In That Corner." That's the name of the reality show called "In That Corner," and the podcast has the same title. And I already have the theme song done by Chuck D. It's a banger, bro. You gotta hear this.
Wow,
Chuck D. Wow.
wow.
Chuck's best verse I've heard in a long. So we got that song coming out. That's the theme song for the podcast as well as the reality show.
Hey, speaking of Chuck D, man, so I just found out. I don't know if the audience could see this, but this image right here, tell us the history behind that right there, because
Um, that's the number one logo in all of hip hop. I mean, think of all the iconic logos in hip hop, from the Def Jam logo to the Run DMC logo to uh, Snoop's logo to Eminem's logo to the Wu-Tang's Clan's logo.
Wow.
Chuck D saw a picture of me in a magazine. So Chuck snaps the picture out the magazine. You know, Chuck's a graphics artist, right? So what Chuck did, he sketched out my silhouette and he put my silhouette in the bullseye of PE. After they chipped me off, we signed the contract. He's like, yo, you're going to be the logo for PE. Are you good with that? Absolutely, Chuck. Why wouldn't I be good with that? So contract made it happen, and boom, it's the number one logo in all of hip hop. So we have that whole history of the logo. We're going to do some special things with it for the 50th anniversary of hip hop.
that's dope.
Wow.
Hey, and speaking of that, because you brought up something that's very interesting, that you guys did some paperwork behind that, and you said they broke you off to use that. Just tell me, like, how important was it, and who idea was it? Was it something Chuck presented to you to say, hey, here's the contract, we want to use your image and likeness? Or did you guys just kind of go back and forth and negotiate something?
And you know, deals was really simple back in the day, where it wasn't like it was really Bill Stephanie calling me up, say, come on over to the office, I need to talk to us. Went over to the office, sat down, he said, I thought something was wrong. I was like, what's going on? He said, well, Chuck want to use your likeness for the law. Okay, cool. Give it to me. Shot by my peeps. It's all good. Signed it, and been rocking ever since.
Wow.
Wow.
So are you still, and if you don't mind me asking, do you still earn money off of that? Off of them using it for different album sales and things of that nature?
I got chipped off, so I wasn't really stressing the long term. But now
Okay.
that see, back then, I'm glad you asked me that question, because this was 87 to 88. There was no digital. Keep that in mind at that time, right?
Right.
Now the whole situation has changed. There's digital now. Now we even have the NFTs, right? So now
Right.
it's like it's a whole, everything is new now. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
now it's time to sit down, have that second conversation, which is called the sequel. And we'll put something together. I spoke to him about it, and he said, do your thing and bring the deal. If it makes sense, we'll sign off and keep it pushing. So we have a couple different things that I'm putting in order right now towards the NFT situation. So that's still in the works. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
When
good to
did
hear you
when
brothers
do
working
you
something out
yeah,
like that.
that's dope, man.
Oh,
When
absolutely.
did y'all when did he create the logo? What
86,
year?
87, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's 87 around that time.
What was the first time you met LL and Cut Creator? How do you guys meet?
Well, I met Cut. I knew Cut before, because Cut's a couple years older than me, because Cut's around my sister's age, and me and Cut met because Cut has a younger brother named Keith. Keith is my age. And me and Keith was in the same grade, and Cut and my sister was in the same grade. So I was rocking with Keith, and he introduced me to his brother Cut, and we started, we had a crew called the Farmers Crew, and then I met LL. I met Todd. Man, I met Todd. He was like 12, 13. Young kid in the block. But I knew he had the skills. I'm like, this kid's nice, right? He's gonna go all the way, guys. This is the guy right here is gonna go all the way. And sure enough, I was right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you're older than LL.
A couple years, yeah.
Okay. All right. That's dope. Can tell me a little bit about, so when Krush Groove came out, everybody remember LL walking in and saying box, but that made all three of you guys stars at that point in time,
Yeah.
because that scene, it was like your persona stood out, and that was like I don't care what y'all say. I got my man E with me. He about to watch this. What was it like during that time, and how old were you when that came out?
It was like 17, 18,
Wow.
18. Yeah, we was just leaving the high school at that point in time. And George Jackson, I'll never forget how the whole thing went down. George Jackson, rest his soul, God rest George Jackson's soul. But George, I was talking to George every single day. I'm like, George, this is an opportunity we can get in here real quick. He said, E, E. We have Run DMC, we have New Edition, we have the Fat Boys, we have Curtis Blow, and we have Sheila E. You see everybody's name? Okay. You guys are not there yet. Okay, you only have one. You aren't there yet. You guys gotta be patient. I said, okay, George. I'm reading the sides every day. So I'm reading the sides early that morning. I said, hold up, this is an audition. We could just walk in right after R&B singing, and he can start performing. Let's give it a shot. So I said, we gotta get today. So we walked and did our thing, and bang, that was one of the iconic scenes in that movie. Distributed by Warner Brothers Theatrical Release, 85. You
Wow.
haven't seen it, go to Netflix, go to Hulu, it's there. Krush Groove. Go see it.
That's dope.
Gotta do your history.
Oh yeah.
What
So you
what is your favorite memories? Just like it, y'all like the cornerstone of hip hop, man. From you being a teenager to now, like what is your favorite memories? I know the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was just recently, and you guys are just united just recently, and the fans miss seeing you in the public spotlight after years. I
Well,
think you recently was,
I was in the hospital for 3 years.
yeah,
I got shot like 8 times in 89 to be exact. That was the second time I got shot. The first time was 1987 when I was in Jackson, Mississippi. But 89, I missed 3 years. The guys did their thing. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, that was like, that was an iconic moment. Not too many times you're going to be on stage looking into the audience, seeing Jay-Z, Beyonce, Foo Fighters, Paul McCartney.
it was
I mean,
good to see you there, man.
see
For
those
real.
guys sitting there eating dinner and
Yeah,
looking at you. That's a moment right there. I'll never forget that.
yeah.
yeah, that's
What you got?
dope.
A virtual reality company? Let's talk
Yeah,
about that. I know that's going on real heavy
well,
now.
VR innovator, right? Started the company 2015 when I moved to Japan. I'm living in Tokyo now, and I
Wow.
moved out there to pursue my video game side as a game developer. So I had like 4 engineers with me because I'm not an engineer, but I hired 5 engineers. I brought them with me from Utah. So we made the game 3 times around the track. Me and my partner at that time, Rika. Rika was really big on the video game side because she did the composing for Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys gamers?
No, I
Some,
play a
yeah,
little bit, but not as
a
much
little
as I
bit.
used to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
as a
Yeah.
kid.
at a certain age, you just don't have time like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, right.
What happened was, when we made the game, we made 2 times around the track, and we showed it to a couple different game companies out there. So one game company, which became our VC, they funded us enough to complete the game, at least the portal of the game, I should say. So after about 6 months, we decided we were going to do the first Tokyo International Comic Con. So we brought Stan Lee out. This is 2016. We brought
Wow.
Stan, Jeremy Renner, Lance Hendrickson, and Steve Wozniak. Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple, he flaked out last minute. So we still had a good lineup, and we had 150,000 people there 3 straight days. That was the
Mm.
first Tokyo International Comic Con. So from there, I started working on the driving and the boxing game.
Wow.
And on the boxing game, my godson, he's actually one of the top fighters in the game right now. Teofimo Lopez. He's a welterweight. He was the lightweight champion of the world when he beat Lomachenko, but he's the face of the boxing game. Teofimo
Okay.
and Foley. Those are my dudes.
Wow. That's dope.
It's like you the face of, like, coming up, we were like, ELove is the goon. But you know how smart you are, man. It's just amazing, man. Just to hear you, to hear you talk like this, man. For real,
Thanks, man.
Yeah, yeah, that's
yeah,
dope.
you
With
you was real serious about your stuff, Just to hear this is great, you know.
yeah. Just I want to double back on the Crush Groove a little bit. So you said you was 17, 18 at the time. You was still in high school. What was that experience like? The movie came out while you was in high school, or y'all filmed while you was in
I
high
was
school?
just leaving high school at that time, and I had a crazy high school. Now I had Eric B was in my high school with me. Me and Eric B been Tyson's high school since the ninth grade. Me, Eric B, Aunt Live, God rest his soul. That was Eric B's brother, and Say Adams. Say.
No, I don't.
Say's a logo guy. He does everybody's logo. If you hit his name, Say Adams, he come right. Oh,
Okay.
I seen that logo. Yeah, he's tight with the pen. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. So really interested in high school. High school was great because the movie was out, music's on the radio, and we were like stars go to class, like teachers tell do that, huh? But it was definitely an experience though. We had a great time in high school.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Man, did you
Hey,
imagine seeing everything coming full circle like this? How LL's like the goat for real, and having his own radio station, and all this stuff. Just like it's like he's the face of hip hop, in a lot
From
of ways.
Boulevard to the face of hip hop. That's what I've always said to him. He came from Farmers Boulevard to the face of hip hop. I
Hmm.
mean, that's the goat. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, I hear everybody start talking about who's the best MC. I'm like, dude, let's not even have this conversation, right?
right.
Because
Right.
everybody accolades, everybody sold a certain amount of records, but that guy's he's the GOAT as far as I'm concerned. He's the best rapper, in my opinion, the best artist
Mm.
to ever
Right.
really at that level on a continuous basis for a length of time.
Right.
I mean, can't
Yeah.
deny that. No denying that.
That's true. I think you guys invented what Ron always had a certain swag about him, but I think you guys combined created such a style and what people call nowadays swag. But I think you guys LL was the first person people really wanted to imitate. Like we imitated Ron on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
mic, but a lot of people imitated LL's walk, demeanor, and it was always somebody bomb like I'm gonna be ELove. You know what I'm saying? So like this, do you see some of that in the younger artists now? Just kind of that bravado, braggadocious. Do you see how that kind of evolved into what hip hop is today?
Some of the young artists, I like what some of these young artists are doing. Don't get me wrong, but the only problem I have with this generation, everything sounds alike. Everybody look alike. There's nothing to differentiate one artist from the next. Everybody's look is very similar.
Right,
Everybody's walk, everybody's there. Back in the day, you had Run DMC one way. You had the Fat Boy. You had Houdini, Lovers Over Here. You had LL, hardcore dude, love at the same time. He had both bases, the guys and he had the chicks. Then you had Big Daddy Kane, you had Heavy D, you had groups where every group had a different sound and a different
right,
look. That's my only problem with this generation. Everybody look the same and sound the same.
right, right.
You
And
look,
let me ask you this: Were you were still involved with the music side? And were you on a Nitro tour when?
uh, so I think I was in the hospital during the Nitro tour.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I did a couple tours and then I was shut down for 3 years.
Oh
Then I had
wow.
1 year rehab, so that was really 4 years. Yeah.
Okay,
I
all
missed
right.
part of the early yeah, I missed a large part of the night.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. What was it like going on tour though in the late '80s and
I'll tell you something. There's nothing. The fun we had out there, because nobody had camera phone. There was no digital. all of a sudden you're gonna be uploaded on YouTube where everybody can see, damn, what you just did. There was none of that. I'm saying thank God because we had our moments out there now. But see, everything now, there's no mystery anymore. You
Right.
can see everybody on their social media page. You see what everybody's doing. So there's no reason for a Soul Train Bandstand. Back in the day, you saw your favorite artist on Soul Train or Bandstand.
Right.
You waited for their video. You waited for the music to be in the store. You waited for them to show up at the in-store, sign your jacket after you bought your 12-inch, take a picture, and then they walked off. And then they would come into the show that night. There's none of that now.
Right. Right.
That there's a lot missing from the game. Don't get me wrong. Uh, Social media and the digital added to it also took things away also.
Right. It's like a little bit of overexposure to our favorite celebrities now.
Right, right.
Yeah.
With the exposure, you can just I can go and see anybody right now on IG. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, there's no thirst where there's lines around the block for the in stores. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no college promo tours anymore. What happened to those days?
Right.
The college promotion tours before you hit the major tours in June, July, or August of that summer.
Wow.
So
Tell us something. You heard any of LL's new music?
he played some stuff for me that's fire. He played some songs for me. They were bangers.
Mm.
I'm like, wow. I mean, they were, and he was not alone on those songs either. So they were real.
Wow.
I'm not gonna say who was on it, but trust me, they were all household names and they were all spitting fire. I'm like, man. I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, yeah, Q-Tip did his thing. I mean, Tip did most of the production, just about all the production, I would say. Um, he did his thing. The tracks is bangers, and the songs was flowing. And I'm not a yes guy. If it's not right, I'm like, yeah, you need to fix this or whatever. But they were like that, like
Yeah.
real.
Hey, speaking of that, when you guys were like in a creative process, did you ever say like no to certain stuff or get your opinion and be like, nah, that ain't it, L? Or
Oh, we also know everybody. I mean, we also know. I mean, if it's not right, I'm not gonna be like I'm not a yes guy at all. I'll tell you in a heartbeat, no, this is not hitting.
right.
No, is actually one of my favorite words because not too many times it's really like, bam, this is the winner right here. But we all had our moments where we thought things wasn't right, and let's stay here and fix it until it is right. That's what we did. He was all about perfection. Working with him, perfection. If he'll stay in the studio all night until it's right. If it's not right, he's not leaving, and nobody else is leaving either. So, get your food and your weed right. Nobody's going anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
One last question, ELove. It's a lot of museums that's happening around the world with hip hop and stuff, man. Y'all are like the face of magazine posters and just the face of cool. Tell me something. What do y'all do with your throwback jogging suits and stuff? You put those stuff in storage, or, all that stuff is in the museums and stuff like that. Or?
There's a lot of the stuff that's in different museums. My sister was in the museum in France, and she was just going through different museums, different rooms, and they said, "Oh, they have a pop culture music in the other room." And she went over there. She said, "Oh, there goes my brother right there."
That's dope.
Man, where's my phone? She pulled up. Oh wow, okay, wow. The early pictures is in all the Getty Images museums because Getty Images bought all the early pictures. But as far as the wardrobe and the memorabilia and the hats and the jerseys and all that, I got some of my stuff going to a museum in the Bronx in New York, and I have another guy who's putting together a museum in Vegas who wants some of my stuff. So yeah, I just donate to the museums.
We looking for them troop outfits.
bro. That was one of the early brands on on the apparel side, we had a great situation with Troop. We actually next to Run DMC, we were actually one of the first groups to get an endorsement deal, apparel wise, and we killed it, man. Everybody was rocking Troop early '80s, mid '80s. If you didn't have
Yeah,
Troop, you was not rocking. And Troop was just as popular as Nike was right now. Back in the
Right.
'80s, you didn't have Troop head to toe. Don't come to the concert.
yeah, y'all introduced the world of Troop because it was amazing. Like, we were all in Detroit, we were big on Adidas, and of course, eventually Jordan came out. But when y'all dropped with the Troop outfits and the shoes, it was like a whole new wave of just style and everything with Troop. And we were a Troop for a few years there just because of y'all. Nobody was even thinking about Troop
Yeah.
until y'all wore it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
to another level, no doubts about it. It was an honor. Them guys was cool, and it was definitely needed because right after Troop, Fubu was around the corner. Carl
Yeah,
Kanai was doing the thing. I mean, that was one of the early brands in the game. Was Troop.
right,
Yeah.
right. Hey,
What's your last words, man? Go ahead, Red. Go
I
ahead.
just want. Did you co-write going back to Cali? Cali?
Yeah, I want to ask you that.
Like that one, but I had some ideas, but that one was man. Okay, my brain's a little scrambled. I had a little input on that, but that was mainly on Ella Rick Rubin. That was
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Boy lit it up with the horn. Dan, dan, dan.
Yeah,
I got on the horns. Roy King, Roy killed it, no doubt.
yeah. Dope.
Yeah.
What's your message to the guys that's out there? All this chaos is going on. These want to be tough guys and stuff, and here you are, was the face of that, but your brilliance, man, is coming out. On with us. ELove.
Oh, there you go.
What you got? For the world to know, the youth is kind of, y'all brought the fun to the tough guyness. This and they hear you talking
That's how
about.
I mean, we did that in the '80s and '90s, bro. Right now, it's all about. For me, I have a 501c3. I work with this law firm, and we actually put 300 kids through college in the last 12 years, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Uh, I have a program that we make sure the youth learn coding, programming, and game development. I'm all about teaching the kids technology because you can't get anywhere without technology in today's world. So, all that tough guy stuff, bro. You're only tough when you can take care of your family. That's when you're tough. You know what I'm saying? When you can take care of your family and provide for them, that's when you're doing a good job. So that tough guy street stuff, bro, different era right now. Right now, you gotta make sure the kids is right, make sure your family and the elderly people in your neighborhood is taken care of. That's what you do when you want to be tough. Take care of the hood.
That's
Man,
dope.
thank you, man. Thank you, man.
All right, we want to thank you for coming out, man, coming on the show, and again, man, always a legend. You get the much
Man,
respect from
salute, man.
Detroit.
Detroit
Love
love
y'all, man. You just have no
you.
idea.
For real.
See, bro, I used to have a house in Grosse Pointe, bro.
Oh, for
Wow.
real? Oh,
When the Super Bowl came in 2007 or six, I had a huge event called Super Bowl Super Screen. My boy Kid, I don't know if you know Kid from Kid's World, but he produced Rick Ross, Ross of 5'9", D12. We had a studio in Bloomfield Hills. We just
okay.
about 2 years ago to Lathrop Village in the D, bro.
Mm.
Wow. I ain't
Bro,
know that.
I,
I met DMC that year. The Super Bowl was here, so that's
Wow.
funny.
I had a huge event that year during Super Bowl, bro. Yeah.
Wow,
Wow.
never knew that.
We had an event that was called Super Bowl Super Screen, where we had artists come by and perform. We had football players come through. I brought Eddie George through. I brought a ton of different artists, a ton of different ball players through. We had BG wrote a song for the soundtrack that we dropped before that called BG some stunts. I'm gonna send you a link to the soundtrack in a minute, bro.
Okay.
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 All
Well,
right.
thanks again, man, to the
Thanks.
face of the public enemy logo right here.
Thank you. Oh, God bless everybody. Peace out, y'all. You guys be safe out here, bro.
All
God
I'm in.
right.
bless, man.
All right.
Still
Have a good
bigger
one.
endeavor.
Funky
Eat
Fresh in the
love.
Flesh. We out.
Yes. Another great episode.